Hey you, what if this
ITBOY BBNO $sign
sounded like this? That's right, it's me, Vex, Cyberpunk Antifa Lesbian, and I'm here doing another of my videos, the promised one that I said that I was going to do, which is, what if Baby No Money was groove metal? So, bit of a story behind this one. I love Baby No Money. He's an awesome person. His music's so good. I actually got introduced to him via my child. We went and saw him live playing in Manchester. We're gonna go again. Baby No Money, and I'd been wanting to do a cover. I was debating on doing a cover of Antidepressants.
I'm on them antidepressants. We feeling good today.
And then he released 1-800 with Iron Mouse, and I was like, well, that's the VTuber song. I guess I kind of have to do that one. But then he released his self-titled album, and one of the tracks on there is called Come to Brazil. He recently released a music video for it. Now, this is based on the old meme that you see underneath music videos. I'm sure most of you will have seen this, where people will comment, come to Brazil, to different bands, because apparently in Brazil they don't get much live music, I guess. Like, enough that The Offspring also did a song called Come to Brazil. Now, when I think of Brazilian music, there is a single man I always picture. Max Cavalera. That is right. The old frontman of Sepultura, now doing Soulfly, Nailbomb, Cavalera Conspiracy. He's the one that I always think of when I'm specifically thinking, like, Brazilian influence, like metal music and stuff. Which then got me thinking, you know what would be cool? What if I redid Baby No Money, the song Come to Brazil, in the style of Max Cavalera's stuff? And that's how we ended up where we are. So what we're going to do, we're going to talk about the process of making the music, and here we go. So the first thing I did was figure out the bass line and what key that was in. Luckily, it's in C. My custom is in drop C, so that made it way easier to figure out the riff and how it was going to adapt through the song. What I ended up doing was just basically following kind of what the bass does in the original, and then adapting it, adding like extra embellishments that would work in a metal context, like palm mutes, changing up like the rhythms, things like that. Then I added a bunch of like embellishments on the top as well, so like little lead lines. For example, one of the ones that I wanted to invoke the Soulfly kind of sound, which immediately gives the Soulfly influence, is from their song Prophecy. There's the lead that makes use of like a whammy pedal, like a ricochet pedal. What I did was I made a version where I was playing what the bass is doing as octave chords, and then running it through that ricochet pedal to make it do the high pitch and then dropping sound. I then looked into the Brazilian instrumentation as well. I wanted to get that accurate too. So like a lot of the rhythms and the specific instruments, because one thing that Soulfly do use is a lot of traditional Brazilian instrumentation. So I wanted to incorporate some of the percussion that Baby No Money did put in his original. In fact, there are a couple of elements where I stripped his version down to the stems to get ideas of how things were working specifically. And I did use a couple of layers of the percussion and a layer of the chanting, the Baby No Money chant, as like a lower level, and then just to fill out the sound, and I sung over the top of it. So, one thing I did find funny that he didn't put in the song Come to Brazil was the whistle. I always think of the whistle when I'm thinking of like Brazilian songs in general. It may be to do with the, like, Brazil are football mad, so I always think of football whistles. So one thing I did add to this song was the football whistles. because I was like, it's a mistake that Baby No Money made that I have to correct. So I ended up working this out, and also trying to figure out, I have not rapped in years. I used to do a whole bunch of, like, back in the nerdcore scene, and this is old nerdcore scene, right? So this is back when the big names in nerdcore were MC Frontalot, Schaefer the Dark Lord, Kabuto the Python, Beefy, Dual Core. It was back then, like, there were the Thought Criminals, Michael Kill and Sulfur, who ended up becoming good friends. They're both, like, Michael Kill's stuff especially is so good. I highly recommend. But I had not rapped properly since back in those days, so I thought, this is going to be a challenge trying to find where I want my voice to sit with the raps. I managed. I'm kind of pleased with what I did. It's one of those things where, like, if I have more practice at it, then I'm going to be more confident. But for this, I think it came out all right. Now, one of the things I did as well was the way that the structure of Baby No Money's song sits, right, isn't the way I would normally structure something. It's a very rap structure, which makes sense. He's a rapper. So, like, the chorus, if you can call it that, is the Baby No Money chant again, and the voice sample, "Come to Brazil," and him going, "Okay," which I kept that clip of him going, "Okay," because I wanted that in there. But I wanted to change it up, and for a Soulfly song, or a groove metal song in general, there'd be more to the chorus. So I ended up expanding the lyrics for what Baby No Money did. So there's the chorus lyrics are completely new, and I kind of wanted to go for the party vibe that Baby No Money gives, right? So it's a song about, like, the whole emphasis, like, of Baby No Money as an artist is, like, loving each other, like, being together, bringing community together through music, like, all of his stuff. This is why, like, I say that he's a good person. All of his stuff is like, and when we saw him live, he's so caring about his audience, and I wanted to try and capture that. I wanted to make chorus lyrics that kind of play into that, but also into the vibe of, like, the metal scene as well, which is why I ended up writing the way I did. I ended up writing stuff like, bang your head, feel the vibe, you know? That kind of, I wanted to get that idea across. But obviously, ending the chorus, it ends like, be one with us, come to Brazil, to bring it round to the original thing. And then you can have Baby No Money saying, okay, like, as a response to the, like, come on, Baby No Money, join the groove metal thing, come to Brazil, we're gonna do this, you know? So, the other thing as well is the fact that as a rap song, it's verse, chorus, with a little bit of an extension, and that's the end of the song. One thing you will notice, my version's a bit longer, and that's because, other than adding the choruses in, I did extend the intro as well, so it had a bit more of a build-up. But I wanted to have... Originally, I was listening to the first Soulfly album, and specifically the song Bleed that has Fred Durst on it, because in the bridge, it slows down and becomes this sort of heavy, groovy thing, right? And I was like, okay, well, I will write more lyrics here that will go, again, with the vibe of what we're trying to go for the song. And I got to that part, I was trying to write the slower bits. Unfortunately, because of the things that I normally listen to, a lot of the Max Cavalera stuff I've been listening to recently was Nail Bomb. Now, if you've not heard Nail Bomb, it's very industrial tinged, but also very D-beat. Here, for example, is the song Wasting Away, which is the main one I was listening to. As you can hear, very fast, very chaotic, very thrashy. And I thought to myself, the little voice came up in my head, and I was like, you know what would be funny? The idea of bringing the metal scene to the Baby No Money concert and having circle pits. I wanted a part that you can mosh like crazy to, right? So, the second half of the song goes full on D-beat, and now this is like completely original lyrics as well. So it ends up going super fast, and again, so the main riff, the shred riff, is actually based on the notes that the bass was playing in the first half of the song. The same notes. The actual D-beat riff that comes in was me extrapolating on that because of the scales that were used. The notes actually fall really neatly into a half-whole scale in C, one of my favorite scales to use for like writing metal music, which I ended up doing the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da riff as, right? Sorry, you're gonna have to deal with me humming riffs. So I ended up writing the vocals, and for this I wanted to touch on the fact that Baby No Money doesn't really... He kind of touches on things like this, but isn't outwardly specific about things in his music. About touching political subjects. That's right, there's slight politics in here. You're watching the Cyberpunk Antifa lesbian, of course there's going to be politics involved. Max Cavalera in Soulfly stuff is a lot more blatant, the same way that I am. So I thought, seeing as this is the part where I'm doing the vocals, it would make sense for me to be like, the world is going to shit, fascism is everywhere, we need to stick together the way that we should. Community is what binds us, right? So I ended up writing the lyrics basically being about, like, be together in this community, love each other, fight against evil, right? Because Alex, as a person, his posts are very much that kind of energy. And like I said, Max Cavalera is very much that kind of energy too. So I ended up writing those, and I wanted to get a solo in the song. So what I ended up doing, I tried multiple times to get a very, like, old school Sepultura sounding guitar solo, and nothing I was doing was working for me. So what I ended up doing was giving up, talking to my guitar teacher Paul, and being like, can you do a solo for me, please? So what ended up happening was my good friend Paul Nazarkadeh, who's lead guitarist in UK death doom band De Profundis, he did the solo for me. So when it goes into the music video, you'll see a little... He did video himself playing the solo as well. So when it comes to the music video, you'll see a little pop-up window of him playing while cosplaying Isan, completely by accident. He was very much We talked about it in text conversation afterwards and referred to it as Isan maxing. So, yes, the song ended up there, and I'm actually really proud of this one. Like, the way it came out is super fun, very bouncy. It's, like, it is what I wanted it to be. And Alex, Baby No Money, I'm coming to the show Manchester, the Friday show. So if you want to play this one live, hit me up. Anyway, here is the completed song.
Baby, no money, baby, no money, baby. like Anita. I'm in a Rari, that's a horse car. Got 10 twos in a two-seater. Fuck 10 plus 2, them cups. She's flopping my Joe till I pop. When I bag that bitch, I rock. Everyone hating on me like JoJo Siwa. Cowboy bebop, Jet class, G-class, D-pop. Go my mama when I eat God. Shut your mouth and swallow that Tide Pod. We're gonna slide through like cha-cha-cha-cha. No foo-foo lame shit like grata-ta-ta. I chop the top off like cha-cha-cha-cha. She wanna show me her ta-ta-ta-tas. Feel the vibe, praise the music, join the cry, the beat our hearts, our souls fulfilled, be one with us, come to Brazil. Popping out on Rio de Janeiro, take my shirt off now they will be feral, rubbing all these backmans dinero, 10000. Hell yeah, I got a couple commas in the check, busy making money, ain't having no sex. Sorry baby girl, you know I got you next, I'm coming home soon like scrambled egg. Cut that bullshit wet, I chop the top, then I pull one out for Kamala. Your chick said she liked my goofy ass, so I'm spamming off a Lancelot.
Baby, no money.
We're gonna slide through like cha-cha-cha-cha. No foo-foo lame shit like grata-ta-ta. I chop the top off like cha-cha-cha-cha. She wanna show me her ta-ta-ta-tas. Feel the vibe, praise the music, join the cry, the beats our hearts, our souls fulfilled, be one with us, come to Brazil. Voice and the strength we are one. Fuck those who oppose us, it's just for fun. Love each other always, defend all you can. We won't let hate when we take a stand. Back your red, feel the vibe, praise the music, join the cry. All of this hatred we shall deny. Baby, no money, thank you for our tribe.
So that was a nice bit of chaos there. I am so proud of this song. Like I said, like, it's super fun, very bouncy. Alex, if you do want to play it live, hit me up. Or if you want to completely ignore it, that's fine too. I mainly made this to show my appreciation for your music and what you do, and like just to expand on the sound and make something fun. So even if it's just a few people that are like, hey, this is fun and nice and bouncy, then that's great. Like, the message that I wanted to spread with this is that community thing. So people finding each other through music is always a magical thing to me. So yeah, thank you for listening to this. And in a nice twist, if you listen to the show over on Chaos Under No Ties Radio, Contra Odium, you will have already heard this song. Because what I'm doing now is I'm actually co-hosting that show, Contra Odium. So this whole series, the What If Thing Was Genre, what we're doing is, if you want to listen to those first, if you want to hear the songs first, go and listen to our show over there, and we will be premiering the songs on there, and then the video will come out that explains the process and gives you a music video. So yeah, thank you again to Paul as well for doing the solo for me, because I suck at lead guitar. And thank you, Baby No Money, for being a decent person and for being cool. And I look forward to seeing you live again in Manchester on the Friday in first week of May. I think the 9th? Something? Whatever. People... I don't have enough audience for people to recognize me. Like, fucking, as a VTuber, like, this is one of those Amelie things. Like, I've got enough footage of my face out there that there's no point pretending that I'm someone else. So yeah, if you do go to that show as well, feel free to say hi. If you seem very threatening, I will be having words. But once again, thank you for listening to this. Hopefully the next one, weirdly, I think the next one is going to be a remix of one of the Hat Film songs that they did for the Jingle Jam this past year. So that's going to be interesting. So thank you for listening. Don't forget to love each other. The only good fascist is a fucking dead one. Bye!